Since I'm making videos today, I haven't posted in a while, so I might as well make a couple. I want to talk about the Son of Man. A lot of people who misunderstand the Bible think when Jesus calls himself the Son of Man that he's affirming that he's a man or just a man. I want to make this 100% clear. Jesus is God. He's God from eternity. And at a point in time, he was born on this earth and he became man. And while he was alive, he was fully man and fully God. He's always fully God. He always was. He always will be. He was, he is, and he is to come, and he will be forever. But he did become man, and he is man. But Son of Man is not talking of his humanness. Son of Man is him claiming to be God. How was the Son of Man him claiming to be God? Well, to understand this, you have to go to Daniel chapter 7, specifically Daniel chapter 7, verse 9 through 14. So I'm going to try to break this down. I encourage you guys to go read it yourself. But I'm just going to try to break it down quickly, just surface level. By the way, Jesus claims to be God innumerable times in the Gospels, but we'll get to that another time. Actually, I am going to read this verse, and then I'm going to try to break it down. So start at verse 9 of chapter 7. This is Daniel, I don't know, like between 500 and 700 years before Jesus' birth on this earth, sees a vision. And he says, I watched till thrones were put in place, and the Ancient of Days was seated. The Ancient of Days is God. I watched till thrones were put in place, and the Ancient of Days was seated. His garment was as white as snow, and the hair of his head was like pure wool. And you see like kind of a connection to the book of Revelation. His throne was a fiery flame, and its wheels a burning fire. I'm going to skip down to verses 13 and 14, which are more important. I was watching in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man, coming with the clouds of heaven. He came to the Ancient of Days. They brought him near before him. Then to him, the Son of Man, was given dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all peoples and nations and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom the one which shall not be destroyed. So, this is the thing. One like the Son of Man here is described as God, but is distinct from the Ancient of Days, who is also God. To the Son of Man was given dominion. So God gives the Son of Man dominion, aka rule and control. And he gives glory to the Son of Man. If we look at Isaiah 42:8, it says, I am the Lord, my glory I will not give another. And if we look at John 17:5, Jesus says, Father, glorify me with the glory I had with you before the earth was. It also says his dominion, his rule is an everlasting. It's forever. It's an everlasting rule. It's an everlasting dominion. So God is giving the Son of Man glory and power that all people should serve the Son of Man forever. 1 Timothy 6:16 says, God dwells in an unapproachable light, and no man has ever seen or can see him. But it says that the Son of Man approaches the Ancient of Days, who is God. He came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And the Ancient of Days gives him these things. John 6:46 also says, no one has seen the Father except the one who is from God, which is Jesus, the Son. There are also many verses in the Bible that say we cannot see God's face, we cannot come near to him because of our sin and all this other stuff. Then we could talk about how it says that all peoples, nations, and language, all peoples, everyone should serve him. God gives this to him, that all people should serve him. In the words, okay, before we talk about the word, I just want to let you know the Old Testament's mostly written in Hebrew, the New Testament's in Greek, and the people in the New Testament spoke Aramaic, but Daniel is also written in Aramaic, and I believe Ezra is a little bit too, not fully, but those are the only two books in the Bible that are written in partly in Aramaic. And the word for serve is pelak. So the thing about this word is, by itself, it could mean like work and stuff like that, and to serve, and you know what I mean? But in the book of Daniel, it is used many times. And every time it is used to mean worship a deity, whether it's a false god or a real god. When Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused to worship the false god, it uses the word pelak. Anytime Yahweh is served, it uses the word pelak. So this word in the book of Daniel is shown to mean worship, serve. No one worships anything but God in a right way. God would not give anyone anything so people should worship him unless that was God. God is giving God the Son power and dominion and a kingdom and glory so that all people may worship him. If you want to see where the word pelak is used in other places in Daniel, look at Daniel 3:12, 3:14, 3:17, 3:28, Daniel 6:17, Daniel 6:21, etc., and of course Daniel 7:14. Not only is Jesus claimed to be God when he says he's the Son of Man, this is also one of those verses that shows that God is one in being, but multiple in person. We believe he's triune, three, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. But it's giving the one who looks like a Son of Man these attributes that can only be God, because people can worship things and people and it could be sin, but this is God giving someone who comes to him and comes near to him. And we know we can't go near to God, we can't go face to face with him because of our sin, and it just says that in the Bible. But it's saying that this Son of Man will come near to God. God will give him these things, will give him power and rule and authority and a kingdom forever. Only God is eternal, for one. For two, he comes near to God. For three, God gives him these things so that all people may worship him. This is one of many very cool, interesting things. Jesus is all over the Old Testament in so many beautiful ways. The atonement is prophesied about. He is prophesied about. His birth is prophesied about. His birthplace, his place where he sacrificed himself was talked about. Pictures of him like Abraham offering up Isaac as his one and only son, but God putting a lamb in his place. It's just beautiful. I don't think I did this justice in this short period of time to explain, but I just think it's cool. I think you should look more into it, do some research, and praise be to God. Praise his holy name.